What happening, y'all? Welcome back to another brand new video, man. You already know what it is, what your boy reacting to, man. Consistent Chris is back on this. You heard me? Shoot. When was the last joint I dropped on here? I forgot what it was. But we have a real interesting one, man. We basically about to have LeBron versus LeBron. So we about to see what this video is talking about. So I just want to tell you, if y'all are new to this channel, go hit that subscribe button, man. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and also too, I'm just say if you do enjoy sports content, and I will be doing a lot more other things instead of just sports on here, but for right now, sports content, if you love sports and everything of that nature, come subscribe, man. I am a basketball head. I love basketball, I love football, I love all the sports. I will, you know what I mean? We about to just get into it all. But I'm about to get right into this, man. So let's do this, let's go.
And I say this now with Ben Simmons. Hey, LeBron. We're good, bro.
Oh, that's crazy.
You can go.
Oh, I remember that.
It's
I remember that. The
extremely
Ben Simmons
unlikely
pop
we
was
ever see another
ridiculous.
prospect like LeBron James. Someone that, despite being fresh off
All
high school
I'm
graduation,
saying is,
when he went first
I
overall in
respect Brian,
2003, felt like a
but he ain't the GOAT.
guaranteed
He's not my GOAT.
franchise-altering talent barring
He's a
injury.
GOAT.
Up
He's
until
not my
that
GOAT.
point, high schoolers going straight to the league had a mixed
My GOAT,
record.
the Bean.
For every Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett.
That man right there, he ain't better than Kobe. I ain't hearing none of that.
But it was very clear we didn't have a
Talk to me
Kwame
when
Brown on our
you get these
hands.
rings, man.
Coming out of St. Vincent St. Mary, he was compared to a slew of legends. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant.
Kobe should have a few more MVPs on the belt, but we ain't gonna talk about that either.
4 titles, 19 All-Star appearances,
19
4
All-Star
Finals
appearances,
MVPs,
crazy.
an assist title, a scoring title, a net worth of $1 billion. And with a career that transcended, few scouts even whispered
He played his career
LeBron's name in
smart,
the same breath as a
for real.
draft prospect. Because while LeBron lived up to those lofty expectations and NBA legend comparisons, that puts quite a bit of pressure on a player, something few are cut out for. But nonetheless, we have seen the comparison come up on a few rare occasions.
Boy.
Surprisingly, the first big-time LeBron draft prospect comparison came smack dab in the middle of his prime. It wasn't like LeBron was still learning the ropes in Cleveland with a very poor supporting cast. That might have made sense. After all, in those lean years with Cleveland, he was an all-star but yet to be an NBA champion. In fact, after a series of playoff exits, he'd yet to convince some he could even lift a team to a title by himself. But going into the 2014 draft, he was a superstar. He produced 2 titles with Miami alongside Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and was on the verge of returning to Cleveland after ripping the city's heart out a few years earlier in the decision. He was in the process of going from perhaps the most hated to the most beloved player in the league, if not professional sports. And for the first time in pretty much the history of his career.
Hey, I will say, out of every artist, out of every athlete, I feel like LeBron is really one of them athletes that has really been like fluffed over. I'm trying not to cuss. Like I will say, Brian has been getting. Brian has always been getting it. He has always been getting treated badly. I will be honest on that. At some point, y'all was just hating. At some point, y'all was, you know what I mean? Y'all still.
A prospect was starting to receive his comparison from the few bold enough to say something that ridiculous. The player, Jabari Parker.
I forgot about him.
Despite what we know today about Jabari Parker's career, some of the ingredients for a LeBron comp were there.
Wow.
Like LeBron, Parker was a high school phenom. He'd become the first junior to be named Illinois' Mr. Basketball, a list that includes Jalen Brunson, Derrick Rose, and Kevin Garnett. And in that same year, he became one of just 4 juniors ever, one of those juniors being LeBron James, to be named Gatorade National Player of the Year.
I was Gatorade National Player of the Year.
And then came the Sports Illustrated cover. The magazine touted the 17-year-old as the best high school prospect since LeBron.
I just didn't see it.
Not only that, but the article would go on to compare Parker's handles to legendary point guard Oscar Robertson, and even one basketball evaluator went on record and said that Parker's basketball IQ was potentially higher than LeBron's was at the same age. With this article, Parker's stock was soaring. The next year, senior year of high school, he was a McDonald's All-American,
didn't he go to Kansas?
the 4th-rated prospect in the country. Oh, and he secured his 4th state championship in 4 years, a feat even LeBron didn't hit. After high school, he would head off to play for Coach Kansas in the Duke Blue Devils. There it became pretty clear that Parker lacked LeBron's vision, but he was still dominating the college ranks. Over 19 points and nearly 9 rebounds a game. It wasn't long before Parker and Andrew Wiggins were being discussed as the next LeBron, Carmelo Anthony, both of whom were taken in 2003 and matured into superstars. In fact, ahead of the draft, it was actually Parker who earned more of the Melo comparisons. He was looked at as a sure thing, not just among forwards, but of all draft prospects. For a moment, there was a real shot that both Parker and LeBron could have been teammates. The Cavaliers owned the top pick that summer, and free agent LeBron was widely expected to rejoin the team that drafted him. But ultimately, Parker went 2nd overall to the Milwaukee Bucks after the Cavaliers opted for Wiggins with the top pick. Now, it ended up not even mattering anyways, as a month after LeBron joined the team, the Cavaliers would ship away Wiggins for Timberwolves All-Star Kevin Love.
That was the time.
That put both LeBron
and that was when Kevin Love's career
in two
went
vastly
down,
different places when they met for the very first time. As on top of Love and LeBron, the Cavaliers also boasted All-Star playmaker Kyrie Irving and entered the season as the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference. The Bucks, meanwhile, were a 500 team that finished second to last in attendance. But luckily, the fans still had some hope they could hold on to. In theory, they had an ace forward to bring the team to a new era. And coincidentally, possibly the peak of that player's rookie season came on December 2nd, 2014, when the Bucks traveled to Lake Erie to face the Cavaliers. Despite the two franchises being far apart expectation-wise, the game was a back-and-forth affair. Parker played nearly 38 minutes, while LeBron saw 41. While the Cavaliers would go up 7 early, the Bucks battled back to take a 2-point lead entering halftime. And between Parker and James, the rookie took the first half.
OJ Mayo was a bucket. Y'all know nothing about no OJ Mayo work. I'll be honest, y'all know nothing about no OJ Mayo work. Mayo was giving.
LeBron, meanwhile, looked like a shell of his
I'm gonna do an OJ Mayo video. I ain't really lying. Mayo was on some other. Damn, bro. Pulls up for 3.
Sales, soars, Then in the second, while LeBron and Parker would shoot nearly identical from the field, LeBron going 4 for 7 and Parker 5 for 7, LeBron clearly had the upper hand as he tacked on 16 trips to the free throw line. The Cavaliers would hold on to win 111-108. But all in all, it was one of the best games of Parker's rookie season. His 22 points would go on to be his second highest total of the year. It's really a fascinating game to look back on. Parker stepping up against a player he was once compared to as a high school phenom, a game that was setting the stage for an incredible story. But
the holidays hit different with StockX.
But this story was about to take a huge turn for the worse.
And then he got hurt.
Less than 2 weeks later, Parker would tear his ACL, sidelining him for the rest.
I will say, them ACL injuries is like one of the worst. I've never had an ACL injury, and them Achilles injuries. Those be
season, and for the start of his second year.
Those be one of them
his career would just never quite recover. He missed 37% of his games over the next 5 years, dealing with a variety of injuries. It's really hard to wrap your brain around just how special a Giannis and injuryless Parker duo could have been in Milwaukee.
Yes! That would have been a scary sight, I'm telling you.
Like a guard. He's really explosive.
I don't think y'all understand, bro. That would have been
unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Now, even with the injury stopping us from seeing what could have come of Parker's career, it's safe to say the Parker-LeBron comparison was a flop. Frankly, it was starting to feel like no matter who came along, a LeBron James comparison was naturally going to disappoint. So thank goodness folks quit comparing 18-year-olds to LeBron. Right? Well,
no,
just 1 year after Parker heard his name called by Commissioner Silver, another hotshot youngster was taking scouts by storm.
Oh, Lord, Ben Simmons. Do we really have to do this Ben Simmons thing? I'll be honest. We already, we genuinely already know what happened to him,
the
bro.
Athleticism, the footwork. He looked the part of a truly transcendent superstar.
I have faith in my man, bro. All I needed was a jump shot.
In fact, some were bold enough to stand behind Simmons, having a legit chance to overtake LeBron as the next basketball icon.
I look at the NBA, which I've watched for 4 decades, and I say this now with Ben Simmons. Hey, LeBron, we're good, bro. You can go. You don't have to. You can hang around.
Nah, that's crazy. You ain't really lying, man.
You can go.
That's
we're all good
bull.
here.
Coming out of LSU, we really only heard 2 comparisons. LeBron and Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
That should sound familiar, considering Johnson was a comparison often made for LeBron when he came into the league. Simmons was the wire-to-wire favorite to go first overall in 2016, even after a somewhat disappointing season with LSU that saw the team come into the year ranked 21st in the country, but by March, they were on the outside looking in on the tournament. Now, ahead of the draft, LeBron played a good sport about the comparison. He told ESPN in December that he didn't mind the comparisons. Someone's going to be compared to someone all the time,
yes, they
and
are.
I don't mind him being compared to me.
The first pick in the 2000
Philadelphia 76ers.
The Philadelphia 76ers select
Ben Simmons. Boy, that boy went in there and didn't do shit.
They now had both Joel Embiid and Simmons on the roster after years of rebuilding through the process. Unfortunately,
Shout out Embiid.
Sixers fans would have to wait a little bit longer to see their franchise savior take the court. Simmons suffered a foot injury that would sideline him for his entire first season. But even during Simmons' foot rehab, the LeBron James connection remained strong. Yet another Sports Illustrated feature, this one about Simmons' long journey and the end of the process in Philadelphia, included a statement from LeBron saying, "You have an opportunity to be better than me, but you can't skip steps. You have to do the work."
Talk to him,
A statement that
Brian.
proved to be wiser than he could have ever imagined. The two would finally get a chance to meet for the very first time on November 27th, 2017, roughly 20 games into the regular season. And for most of the first quarter, the Sixers kept things close with the Cavs. They were exchanging blows, a tough drive by LeBron, a nice fadeaway from Embiid. But it was LeBron's dominance that defined the start of the game.
Yeah, what's Ben Simmons doing?
There's James again, the bump and run with Simmons, and he got two to straight. Nicely delivered.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, if I was guarding Brian, y'all understand, man. I'm your boy. What you talking about?
Half of the entire Cavs total to that point.
Brian gonna have to drive on me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He gonna have to drive.
Ben Simmons, meanwhile, was awfully quiet to begin his debut
on the
versus
backboard,
LeBron.
too.
By the end of the quarter, he had half as many turnovers as points, of which he had 4. In the second quarter, LeBron continued chugging along, adding 7 more points to his total, including this fadeaway. Simmons added just 2 more. Quarter 3 marks the low point of the game for both Simmons and LeBron.
Good pass.
The two combined for just 4 points, with all of them coming from James. Instead, it was the Joel Embiid show. The future MVP put up 16 in the third quarter. Then in the fourth, for the first time all game, Simmons managed not to finish a quarter trailing LeBron's point total. They both accounted for 4 apiece. The final result, a blowout for the Cavaliers, 113-91.
That's easy,
The final tally portrayed a typical dominant performance from James. A 30-point, 14-rebound double-double. Simmons, meanwhile, finished with a stat line that would become all too familiar. 10 points, 8 rebounds, and failing to even attempt a 3.
Oh my God.
Now, surprisingly, he's actually only lost 1 more game against him in his entire career to this point. A 105-98 defeat just a few weeks later. Simmons would win both the matchups in 2018, and since LeBron went to Los Angeles, he's gone winless in his 3 games against Simmons. But though Simmons' teams have performed well against LeBron, the player himself has not. James has averaged over 30 points against Simmons, who's putting up only 17 a game. Pretty solid compared to the player we know today, but obviously not in comparison to LeBron. Now, as far as the expected career of grandeur and transcendence, we're still waiting for it, and all signs point to that waiting period lasting for eternity. After a woeful playoff appearance against the Hawks in 2015,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Since arriving there, it hasn't been pretty.
No, I don't care, bro. I don't care. After that, after him getting scared to Trae Young to not shoot that wide open lay was crazy. Nah, I'm done. I was done with him after
decided
that.
to skip steps and
then I had faith in him a little bit.
refused to put in the work. Now, since Simmons, no one has quite earned the LeBron label ever again, and for good reason.
Nobody
won't. There won't be any player who's exactly like him, no matter how talented. But though the LeBron player comparisons have basically vanished, there's still another form of comparison used that invokes a 4-time champion: hype. Just as LeBron was hyped as the greatest prospect since Magic and Kareem, several players since his entry into the league have garnered similar excitement. One of the most notable of those is Zion Williamson, the explosive big man out of Duke, who burst onto the scene with a handful of mind-boggling high school dunks. But even Zion's hype probably pales in comparison to the Victor Wembanyama hype train.
I'm still not impressed by him. Even though he had like a 36-point game,
some going as far to say the greatest prospect in the history
I'm happy
of
for
this
Victor,
sport.
though.
It's hard to find the right words to describe the league's excitement for Wembanyama right now. It's hard to say if all the hype will be worth it. Zion's already struggled to stay on the floor due to injuries, having appeared in only about a third of his total games for New Orleans over his first 4 seasons. One thing they share in common, the only LeBron comparison that might be justified, is unrivaled excitement.
Zion,
so at least in some capacity, the story of LeBron versus the next LeBron isn't open.
But I'll be honest, I feel like there will never be no other LeBron. There will be no other Kobe, no other MJ, no other Magic. I feel like those players are just great. You can't duplicate them, but I feel like there will be other great players coming in the works, and I feel like they could honestly end up becoming the GOAT. I honestly feel like Victor he literally has an opportunity to be the GOAT, to be the best. I have faith in him. But y'all tell me y'all thoughts down in the comment section, man. More bangers on the way, man. Thank y'all, love y'all. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts about Jabari, Ben Simmons, and who y'all think is up next, man. Y'all let me know. But I think y'all love y'all. You boys out.